Hi guys, this is Kirsten with Loki and Friends, and today I have an update video. We have been MIA for a long time. I don't even know how long. My cameraman Jay doesn't even know how long.
Probably almost a year.
Yeah. And a lot's happened since then. A lot of family things, pet things especially, and since this is our pet channel, that's what we're going to be talking about today. If you're interested in our life stuff, I do have a separate channel for all that. I'll link it down below if you're interested. But anyway, first things first, we've lost quite a number of the original Loki and Friends cast members. Of course not Loki, he's still his happy, drooly baby self. Not so much a baby anymore, but he's his usual self. So that's a good thing. We also have Izzy still. We have Andy and Ollie, or Thad and Ollie, as you probably remember them since we did an introduction video. We still have the Marmo. We no longer have a ton, so I think our cameraman should just roll like a video clip montage of them, because there are quite a bit. But the ones that were, you don't want to say the hardest, but kind of was Teppan and Shemaya. They died about a couple months from each other, Jay?
Yeah,
Like
Teppan in July and Shemaya last month, which is December.
Yeah, so they had like a 5-6 months difference of time. So we lost Teppan. They both were growing tumors, but Teppan's was growing faster, and it seemed to get her a lot more sick. She was walking around very slowly. Her eyes started losing her sparkle, and she was just kind of not as happy as she used to be. And I think the whole thought of tumor growth in rats, pretty much it's like if they live past a certain age, it's inevitable that they will have a tumor of some sort. It's whether it's malignant or not, and whether or not it impacts their quality of life. And as long as it's not impacting that, it's probably okay just to let them go about their time, just because the amount of money, time, and possible complications a removal surgery would have on them and us would just be really great for just a very small probability of them surviving. So when it became very clear to us that Teppan was no longer enjoying life the way that she should, I mean, she can't tell us, she's a rat, but when she just started lashing out, I remember that was really what stuck out in my mind. There's Jay moving.
Sorry, there's a fly on my leg.
That's what really stuck out in my mind, that yeah, she's in really big pain, because she was the biggest love bug in the world. There's nothing greater than being held to her. She just loved us very, very dearly, and she just loved being held. But when she just started to just lash out whenever we would just touch her, it was just a very clear indication that she was not feeling good and she was in actual pain. So for her best interest, we made the decision to have her put down at a local emergency vet, because it happened within like a couple days, right, Jay, that it just became like too much. Like she was in clear pain. So we just went to the nearest emergency vet, and though they technically do not do exotic animals, they did fit her in, and that was very, very gracious of them. So we lost her, and that was particularly hard for me, because again, I love all of them, and it's hard to say that you have favorites, but she has a near and dear place to my heart because she was my first rat. She was the first one that I held, literally. We got her when she was just a tiny little little fuzzball, and I would carry her around. It sounds probably kind of gross to some people, but in my shirt, I would just carry her around for hours and hours, and she would just sleep, and she would just be there literally by my heart the whole time. And it just was like,
she was your first hands-on pet.
Yeah, she was just my baby, from like baby to the end, and we took her everywhere. She went on grand journeys across states, and she visited so many people, and she was just so full of love and life and kindness and sweetness and just derpiness that even people that hated rats, like fear-phobic, they didn't exactly embrace her, all of them, but they did tolerate her and even were curious enough to be close, which is a big step considering some people are literally phobic of her. Other people just fell head over heels with her, and it was just, I couldn't ask for a better pet, and she was just really, really just amazing, and I still miss her. And after having her, being so close to her, it was kind of hard for me to think of having another rat, but we still had Shemaya. And Shemaya, it became very clear that she was not happy being alone. And no rat is, no rat should be alone, but she was especially feeling it because this was her sister. And she was also had a tumor. We didn't want her to be depressed, which would make her even more susceptible to falling ill through the tumor. So we, as soon as possible, went to look for another female rat to be her little friend. We did check our local children, we're in a park. We did check our local animal shelters, all of them in the greater Los Angeles area. So there's a lot of area that could be had, and we did not find any, but she was really, really, really just not having being alone. So that's when we decided, okay, we'll go to a respectable
Local
pet shop that they breed in-house. We know that they're, generally a good. That's why we went there, because we needed a friend for her. And we found Ellie, insert picture here. Adorable little Dumbo girl, and she was just so cute. She's not, and I think it's like my own thing. I love her, but a part of me still distanced myself because it was so soon after losing my little Teppan. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I did this for Shemaya. If it wasn't for Shemaya, I probably would have waited longer for having another rat. But she is definitely cute, adorable, hyper spazzy as can be, and I do love her. It's just, you know how humans are. We tend to think of weird things, but there she is. She's adorable, and she's about a year now, give or take, I would say, because we got her when she was about a few months. She's almost a year, I would say, and she's like the tiniest little circus rat. So she was Shemaya's friend, and they got along pretty spectacularly. They had a couple little tiffs, but nothing ever severe. Charlie and Izzy. There are two blue Dumbo boys, our grumpy old men, as we call them affectionately, because they really were kind of grumpy. They didn't really like to be held that much. Their favorite joy in life was food, but they just kind of did their own thing, and we were fine with that. Charlie was our blind boy, and Izzy was actually the one that started having a little bit more like wheezing. We thought he was the one to be going because he was just kind of sickly. His eyes weren't really opening, and he wasn't really going for food. So one morning I woke up and I saw one of them on a perch right near our bed. They're like a hand right there by our bed, and that's usually what they do because they're saying, oh, they're up, food. And I thought it was Izzy, and the rat, which turned out to be Charlie. I know it's kind of confusing, sorry. But I saw a little rat, and I was like, oh, hi. They turned to me with the eyes like all half closed, kind of sickly, but nothing overtly alarming. There wasn't like big heaving, there wasn't like anything dramatic. He just looked at me, and I was like, okay, I'll feed you. I get up, get the food, and literally the time it took for me to stand up from my bed, go like a yard or two to get the food, fed the girls, turned around, and they had passed away, and it turned out to be Charlie. And we did not expect that in 1,000 years. We really thought it would have been Izzy, but Charlie literally just popped up, and I know it might be corny, it might not be the case, but it felt like he was like, hi, and then bye. He literally sat, looked at us, went down, and then he passed away, like within seconds. And it was just so unexpected, and it was just, again, another hard time. But that's kind of what happens when you own rats, especially when they're about the same age. They all start to get sick and older and pass away at the same time. But the one consolation that I can have from Charlie, he didn't really seem to be suffering his last, few months of life. He was really just doing the same thing that he always did, and he just passed away in his home peacefully, and right by his brother, who was completely indifferent and still seems to be indifferent, but, rats, what are you going to do? Shemaya was pretty good. She was still, the tumor was literally the size of her body.
She had about 3.
She had 3 tumors. They were about the size of her body, but she was still active. She was still trying to climb things. She was eating like a horse. She was trying to be with us. She was still looking and acting. Oh, there's a bug on me. Get away, bug. Get away.
I know, my arms are...
But yeah, she was looking pretty good. And it wasn't until like a month or so ago that we just noticed that all the food she was eating was just going straight to her tumor. She was literally just skin and bone and tumor, which was not healthy. So we made the decision to put her down as well in the same place that we put down Tevin. Thad and Ollie also have started growing tumors. We're keeping a close eye on them because unlike Charlie and Izzy, who they liked each other, but they liked having their time apart. So Izzy seems to be doing fine. We're waiting, touching and going to see, if we should get another male rat for him or not. So, because, that's a thing, the debate. But I didn't want whatever Izzy had to possibly do it, debate, so forth and so on. But Izzy seems fine for now. But Thad and Ollie have always been together. Anywhere they went together. When we had them go with a friend to spend a couple days while we went on a trip, and they would go play, they would play in pairs. They would say they would climb up, their furniture and jump off the piece of furniture one after another, and they still do that to this day. So for us, we feel when one of them starts exhibiting pain, we feel like we're probably going to be putting them down together so that they are not missing each other, because they really are so closely bonded. They both have a tumor, so it's not like one's perfectly,
in
perfect shape. The other one would probably just be depressed and ultimately pass away alone and sad, and not even in time to get another friend. So when the time comes, we have the money, we have the means, we will be putting them down together so that they don't feel that separation, which is a good and a bad thing. No one wants to be put down an animal, but that's what we feel is best for our boys. We gave him some antibiotics, and he seems to be, it was really a miracle. He just started one day, he was like half asleep. The next day he was running around looking for his banana and medicine and just happy as can be, and he seems to be doing pretty well. So fingers crossed that he will continue to do well, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah. So I don't want to end on a very sad note. This is a lot of sad information at once, but Ellie's still young. We definitely wanted a pal for her. So we went and looked, no rats again at the Humane Society. I feel like they just put them down really quickly. They just get them, they don't know what to do with them, and they put them down before we could see them. But again, we wanted to go get a friend, went to the same pet shop that she came from to see if they had any female rats that we could add to our family. And lo and behold, they had this tiny little fuzzy baby that was just the cutest little Dumbo, and we picked them out and fell instantly in love. But it turned out not to be a girl. A little surprise, he's a little mister. We still don't know. Like, it's a mystery.
Haven't even named him.
Yeah, we don't know. We haven't named him. We've gone through Meadow because we thought she was a girl. Then we're like, maybe Bo, maybe Booger Brain. I don't know. We don't. She's still unnamed. This is our third day with her. Them. It doesn't matter. They're rats. They don't care about gender, really. As long as they have food, they're fine. And she's just so cute. Does not want to be away, and literally just, he cries when he's away from one of us. And it's just like, looking at him, he's probably younger than what they said. Because when we got him home and we looked online, he looks pretty young. I would say about 3 weeks.
If that.
Because we're not sure. We were kind of eager, but he was the only baby his age anyway.
He's eating solids and everything.
Solids, he's walking around, he's hyper, he's drinking water, totally fine, but yeah, he's a little young, cute, codependent, and adorable. But we eventually will be getting him neutered, hopefully do a video on that and show you guys how that goes, because we want him still to be a friend for Ellie, but we do not want them to be that kind of friend and make other little friends. We can't do that right now. So we're gonna get him neutered, have them meet, and hopefully they'll be bestest buddies and live a happy, healthy life. In the meantime, here's some adorable little clips of the baby. Oh my goodness. Okay, I have to stop. I'm like a gushing mom. All right, so see you guys later. Bye.